Hey guys, it's your girl Takida J here again with another video. But as you guys can see that the setup is a little different, so that means that this video is a little different, right guys? So I want to thank you guys for liking, commenting, for sharing with your friends on Instagram and Facebook, for everybody who is just looking at the videos, for everybody who is doing what we speak about in the inspirational part of the videos. But I just felt led to do this video for you guys because my heart has been really heavy about how many women DM me and how many women speak to me about the fact that, you know, I'm single and I don't know what to do, or I'm in a relationship and I don't know if to leave because then I will just end up single. And honestly, this whole realization started when somebody came into my DM, right? Somebody came into my DM and they said, you know, Takida, I've been struggling with relationships and I just don't want to leave this relationship, you know, but I want to serve God and stuff like that. As you know, and I encouraged her. I said, well, you know, it's a process, etc., etc. And then she asked me, she said, so that's it? You just serve God and you end up single? Like that's all? You end up single? But that's when I came to the realization that a lot of women feel like singleness is a dead sentence, like it's the end of the world. First of all, guys, you are much more. You were created to be much more than somebody's wife or somebody's girlfriend. When God created you, He created you with full of purpose, full of gifts and talents. And you telling me because you don't have a boyfriend or you're not married that you're just gonna sit down and do nothing with all those gifts and talents? You telling me that you can stop your entire life until you meet a man, or until you meet a woman, or until you get into a relationship? Meet a woman meaning for a man, right? If it's a guy watching it, just putting that out there. Or until you get into a relationship. And I was like, whoa, I am Takida Joseph, anointed and appointed for such a time like this, purpose, talented, and God has created me with so much purpose in me. I don't even want to leave this earth until I accomplish every single thing that I have inside of me to accomplish. That is when I realized I want to be so much more than a wife, and I want to be so much more than somebody's girlfriend. I want to be the whole Takida, the full Takida, like full of life, like doing everything she was created to do. I don't want the fact that I don't have a boyfriend, or I didn't meet somebody yet, or I don't have a husband yet stop me from living my fullest potential. And a lot of people not even traveling, because I don't have nobody to travel with. When I meet somebody, I will travel. They're not even following their dreams, because how I go follow my dreams by myself? Hello, sister girl, get it together. Get it together. I am here today to tell you, get it all the way together. It has to stop. And you know, yesterday I was like, I had something else planned. I was like, you know, we're gonna do a smoky eye, we're gonna do this, da 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 da. And I said, no, I have to come on here and I have to talk to my single ladies. And a lot of women sitting down home and just feeling like being in a relationship or being married is the end goal, is just like this ultimate prize that, you know, like you must have. And it's like it goes beyond us singles just feeling that way. It has a lot to do with the friends that you keep, you know, making you feel like if you're kind of devalued because you're not married or you're not in a relationship. It has a lot to do with the people that you listen to, and it has a lot to do with your perspective. I say perspective is everything. What I did, I said to Takida, God loves you. First of all, I had to have a personal with God, right? Because it's like you trust God to do everything else but find your husband. Really, you trust God to provide for you, but you don't think that He could get your husband or He could get your boyfriend. It must be a reason that God has you in that season of singleness. And if you don't grasp that reason, girl, you're gonna be prolonging this season and prolonging this season. So you need to come to the realization that, here what, God is all knowing, He's all powerful, He's a promise keeper, and He promised me a husband. For some of you, God promised you a husband. For some of you, God placed the desire in your heart, and once the desire is in your heart and it's God's will, it will come to pass. So you need to make peace with the fact that God's will and God's ways are perfect, and then you need to change your perspective. What can I do better in my time of singleness? What can I do at all in my time of singleness? What is this time of singleness actually supposed to really teach me, right? And this is why I came up with the acronym PPR. So you know how you have personal protective equipment, you have PPR, which is purpose, prayer, and relationships, right? So some of the things that helped me get to this point where I'm just like, I'm totally okay being single. I feel so good, guys. I can't explain the feeling to you guys. I feel so good, right? But what I started to do, as I said, was first I changed my perspective completely, and I surrendered to God. I said, God, I'm giving up my will and how I think my life should be for the life that you want for me and for the life that you predestined for me before time began. So I submitted my entire self to God, my entire life and my thinking of how life should be for God's desire for me, right? And then I started to feed myself the right things. Guys, what you feed your mind affects your life. So you need to watch what you feed your mind. And some of these things, right, as we're speaking about PPR means purpose, prayer, and relationships, right? So what I did was I started to read more, because I always love to read, right? And I read the book Higher is Waiting. I'm going to put this up here for you guys. I read the book Higher is Waiting. And that book Higher is Waiting changed my perspective on life completely, by Tyler Perry. Completely. And why? Because remember, first what I did was I submitted my way for God's will for my life. So that's the first thing I did. Then I dug into this book Higher is Waiting, and it taught me about purpose. It taught me about success, about journey, and about life, right? So first of all, you need to understand that purpose is important, right? That, and even this morning I read a quote saying that it's so much easier to find your purpose before you meet someone, and I totally agree with that. And in this time of singleness, guys, this is where you find your purpose, and God has made all of us with purpose inside of us. So I don't want to hear anybody saying, oh my gosh, I can't travel the world, I can't open this business, who will help me? You understand? Who will lift the boxes to me? I don't have no man, I don't have no husband. No, God created you with so much purpose inside of you, and you cannot just put everything else on hold until you meet somebody, until you get in a relationship, until you get your husband. No, this is the time, guys. This is not singleness, it's not a curse. This is the time where you find your purpose, where you find your whole self. You don't want to go into that relationship half a person. Like, you don't want to spend your life feeling like I need this other person to complete me. No, God is the only person that has the ability to complete you and to make you whole. So that's where submitting yourself to God is very important, right? But I started to read this book and I started to pray so much more. I started to become very strategic in my prayer, and that is where the second part of the acronym comes in, where it's prayer, right? So it's purpose and prayer. And where it is prayer is concerned now, everything that we need and everything that we desire, God has in his hands. And we need to ask. The Bible says, knock and the door will be open. Ask and you shall receive, right? And we need to get strategic in our prayers, strategic in our asking. God wants your attention. God wants your love. God wants to be the first person that has your heart before any man can have your heart. Prayer just allows you to get into the presence and worship God, and God is a jealous God. God desires our worship. So you have to be able to drop everything else down, and this whole idolization and this whole, oh my gosh, if I don't get a husband, if I don't get a man, I'm going to die, and be able to worship before God. And strategically, you need to be able to pray for your husband. You need to be able to pray for your generations to come. So this is why in your singleness, submitting is important. Realizing purpose is important, and not purpose as in, I think people misuse the word purpose so much. Like, they make purpose seem like something I'm going to get rich off of doing. No, purpose is what it is God created you to do, right? What it is God created you to be, like, you know, to bring honor and glory to his name, right? So you need to first discover what it is God created you to do, and the only way you could discover that is to get into prayer with him, is to get into relationship with him. So that's why prayer is so important while you're in your singleness, right, guys? So you need to submit, you need to dig into purpose, and you need to pray, right, guys? And also, let me just put in there, singleness is a time where you really, which is even leading us to the next point, right? where you really learn about relationship, and not just relationship as in man and woman, but relationships that you had with your family, relationship that you had with your sisters, with co-workers, right? And in your singleness, this is where you dig deep and you deal with your childhood traumas. This is where you deal with the stuff that you do and you're not even aware that you're doing. This is where you dig deep and you ask yourself the hard questions, right? This is where you come totally naked, like you just take off everything else and you go before God and you say, God, really dig in me and change me and remove everything else that is not of you. Really help me to see things the way that they were supposed to be seen. Teach me how to love the right way, because some of us, we wasn't treated the right way, we wasn't loved the right way, we wasn't seen the right way. So this is why we desire to be seen by men, we desire to be loved by men. We need to first deal with that desire and that feeling with God before we go before any man and deal with that. Because guys, let me tell you this, you want to go into a marriage or you want to go into a relationship your whole self. You want to be a whole person before you meet this person. You want to be living full of purpose before you meet this person, right? Which is so important, guys. And what I did was I started to really trust God for it continuously, because I would trust God for it sometimes and then I would say, nah, God, I don't feel there's something you would do, and then I'll just stop praying about it. I started to really desire it from God and pray about it, knowing with no doubt that God is going to do it for me. But I made up my mind that, God, I'm going to continuously trust you for this, because I know that this is a desire that you placed in my heart and I know that you're going to do it. But I'm not going to let my whole life resolve around it. I'm going to live my full life. I'm going to live full of purpose until that time comes, right? I want to go into a relationship and not drown my partner. I'm not pull from him, right? I want to be able to be myself. Then I started to learn about relationships more, ask God to renew my mind and teach me the real way. And this is where I was listening to a sermon from Pastor Michael Todd, and he said we need to go back to the manual, to the word of God, and see what it is God really designated and what it is God really ordained and created relationships to be. In the Bible have principles as to what relationships are supposed to be. And because we had no manual, right? Some of us, we had no manual about how to love and how to be loved the right way and how to treat a man and how we as ladies supposed to be treated. And we need to go back to the manual and see how the manufacturer really invented relationships to be like, right? So Pastor Michael Todd has a book out named Relationship Goals. It is so, I am ordered it, I'm waiting for it to come, and I will do a review on Ginger Tiki about the chapters when I read it and stuff. But before you go to Relationship Goals, I think you should read the book Relationship Intelligence by Darius Daniels, and this deals with not just relationship man and woman, but relationship with everybody, relationship intelligence for every area of your life, guys. And that is the next thing I started to do. So I started to just feed myself more positive things about relationship, because after I submitted my will to God for his, and after I changed my perspective, I started to feed my mind the correct things when it comes to relationship. Guys, the friends you keep around you is so important. We don't want people around you who have continuously saying, man is dogs, all man does horn, or no. We're not doing that. We don't need that type of energy, because let me tell you guys, your words have power. What you say out of your mouth, this is what you would live out. So you have to be careful what you put out into the atmosphere. You understand? You need to start to proclaim, God has a good man for me. I am going to be a good woman and a good wife to the right man one day. You need to start to proclaim good stuff. You need to start to profess positive stuff out of your mouth when it's concerning your life and your relationships, right? It's such an important time of your life, and I don't want you guys to be sitting around sad, lonely. You're not lonely. God is with you. Get into the word. Go back into my videos and see where I was talking about doing devotions. Start to do devotions. Everything that you need, God has. And the only way that you will receive it is by asking. So you need to become fervent in your prayer, guys. So I really had to start to feed my mind different stuff, more positive stuff, right, guys? And even up to this day, this is what I do. I stay trusting. I stay believing that and knowing that God is going to do it at the right time. But I am here also on this page. I want to encourage all singles. Let's do this together. Let's stay believing. Let's stay trusting. Let's stay proclaiming positive stuff. Let's stay, just saying positive stuff over our lives and our relationships. And let's watch what we feed our mind, guys. It's important, right? So I want to encourage you guys to get all the books I told you about. So get the TD Jakes, the Tyler Perry, Higher Is Waiting. Get the Priscilla shared Fervent Prayer. Get the Relationship Intelligence and the Relationship Goals, right, guys? Thank you guys for watching. Remember to ring that bell next to subscribe and become a part of the notification gang. Right, guys? Like, comment, subscribe. Bye bye. I'll see you guys next time.